is looking a little bit witch in the woods today. But that's okay, it goes with the video. Hello! Today I thought it would be fun to go through my closet and see how many history-bounding / cottagecore outfits I can make out of the things I already have. I am cheating a little bit because I made some of the things in my closet. I've made some of my own clothes already. But I thought I'd talk through what I've made and how much everything costs, because I know it was a little bit scary for me wanting to like start history-bounding and wearing outfits that made me happy and thinking like, oh my god, it's gonna cost so much money to like revamp my entire wardrobe to fit the kind of style that I wanted to go for. But it turns out I actually have a lot of things that I can make those kind of outfits out of. And honestly, I haven't spent all that much money because, you know, I'm a college student. I don't have all that much money to spend. So I think I've built up a pretty good collection over the years, just kind of slowly adding things to my wardrobe that kind of had that like history cottagecore feel. So let's dive right in. This is my first outfit. Oh wow, the lighting on that is really not good. It will be better when I do the whole thing where I'm wearing it. So this is my first one. It is this long dress. It looks kind of black on camera, but it's actually like a really deep purple. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it's got this kind of like lacing down the front. It's got this like beautiful embroidery. And I got this for, I think, $15 in New York. This is where it gets a little bit cheating because I got it off of like a stall off of Union Square. And so it was kind of, I think it was not one of a kind, but I don't know where anybody would be able to find it. But it's one of my favorite things that I own. And it's also one of the first things I ever altered, which is another thing, is that if I found things that I really liked and that didn't quite fit me, I started learning how to alter them to make them fit me a little bit better. So I took in the sides a little bit. I brought down the straps because I have a short torso. How many times can I mention that in every video? And yeah, it's one of my favorite things that I own. It's super pretty. I wore it in Scotland, actually. I put a picture over here. And it made me feel like a freaking princess. So yeah, that's number one. And then with that one, if I'm going like super, I guess that one's kind of, it makes me feel like medieval, but it's very like history-bounding medieval. It's not like historically accurate or anything. But with that, of course, I have my cloak, which is bright green, because I was looking for like an olive green fleece and I could not find one. So it's like emerald green and it's still kind of a pretty shade and it kind of like glitters in the sun. It's very pretty. But this cost me $13 to make because the fleece was like super cheap, and the velvet I already had because my sister was going to make a cloak out of it and then she let me use it. So, and the clasp I already had. So again, cheating a little bit because I didn't pay for all the materials. But even then, the crushed velvet material I don't think was all that expensive for her. For my sister, I mean. And this was literally the first thing I ever sewed, and so it's a little bit, the hem hangs a little bit weird because I didn't actually know how to do a lining at the time that I made this. I've learned a lot since then. This was like a year and a bit ago now, and I've learned so much since then, which is really exciting because I think I want to make another cloak at some point, and hopefully I will be doing that soon. Yeah, so this one I think pairs quite well with the dress because it's very, I just want to like hug it because it's like a blanket. But yeah, like medieval vibes. So I'm excited to wear this for the first time in a while. It doesn't quite close in front because again, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm proud of her. Okay, and the next one I have is this, which I made myself. This is one of the, I think this is like the first outfit that I properly made by myself, I'm pretty sure. It's got a nice long skirt, it's got, hold on, massive pockets. because I had to, because if I'm gonna be making my own dresses, I have to put giant pockets in them. I just have to. Not super historically accurate or anything, because, well, I drafted the bodice pattern myself, and I'm not super happy with it, because I don't know why I decided to draft the pattern myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I've never drafted a bodice pattern before, but I thought, hey, I could do it. I couldn't. But I quite like it. It gives me like the cottagecore feels. It's not like historically accurate, but it feels cottagecore to me, especially when I pair it with this. A little puffy sleeve top that I made to go with this dress. And I can wear it under other things too. But this one I actually did draft off of I think it was 18th century shift pattern, and I just made it like a shirt length instead of a full like chemise shift length. It doesn't fit me very well because I think I must have left out the underarm gussets, and so it's a little bit tight in the arm's eye. But otherwise, I really like the way it looks. It's very like poofy, and I really love this gathered neckline. So I think I want to do another one kind of based off of a shift like this and add like maybe longer like peasant sleeves. I might do that at some point. But yeah, I really like this one, and I really love the way it looks under this dress. I feel like together they just really have that like cottagecore vibe, and it makes me very happy. This dress and the shirt, I made these both out of thrifted bed sheets, so I think total they cost me like 15 pounds, and I'm sorry, I'm switching between pounds and dollars here because some things I got in America and some things I got in London, and so I think $20, something like that, but probably a little bit under that because I didn't use the whole bed sheet for either of these, so it was really a very small amount of fabric. I still have plenty of the bed sheet left. And it's nice because it's like a decent cotton that I can wear against my skin and everything, but yeah, so these ones were pretty cheap too. Next, I have this dress, which is, I think it is one of my favorite things. This one I also made by myself. I used this pattern, I will put a picture up here, and it is also kind of floor length. Also made out of a bed sheet, by the way, so this was also probably, I think 11 pounds I spent on this bed sheet, and I still have some of it left. $15, I think. But yeah, I really like this one, and I like the pattern that I used. I'm really, really glad that I used a pattern for this bodice. I didn't use any for the skirt, I just did like a pleated skirt, but I also really like the way that that turned out, and I'm very proud of this one. I think it's super, super pretty. And the way that the bodice pattern is, it kind of makes me look like I'm wearing a corset. This one is very pretty, and it makes me very happy. And I could pair it with this shirt if I wanted to, so I can do like a little mix and match sort of thing. Next, I just have this plain long black skirt. I'm an actor, and so I needed a rehearsal skirt for drama school. I don't remember how much this cost me, but I know I got it off of Amazon, and it was pretty cheap, and it's like polyester, so not like the best quality. And I would love to get another black skirt because I just feel like long black skirts like this, like you can put them over anything and it will automatically look like history bounding. Just because we don't really wear long skirts anymore. I feel like anytime I wear like an almost floor-length skirt, I just look more like I'm wearing something historical. I really like this skirt, even though it's polyester and it's like not the best quality. But I like wearing it with things because it makes me feel very like, because it's very like swooshy. I have two tops that I pair that skirt with. Here's one of them. It is this sweater that I got, I don't remember where I got it, but I know it wasn't super expensive. I would say it was probably under $10. But it's got this like kind of Edwardian collar. This was like before I started like history bounding, and so I don't know why this one called to me, but I guess I've always just kind of loved that kind of clothing. Mostly just the collar that really gives me that vibe. It looks really cool with the black skirt, like to get, ooh, hello? Sorry, I just dropped something onto the camera. It's not the Edwardian silhouette, but together it does look kind of just, it makes me stand in a different way, especially when I'm wearing like the long skirt. And then I also have this top, which again, like the collar is not, or whatever this neckline is, it's not historical at all, but the sleeves, they kind of have that like peasant sleeve vibe. And then when I put them with the long skirt, it just, yeah, it feels very, at least it feels like cottagecore, and it makes me happy. How many times can I say these things make me happy? Because they do. It's just fun to wear clothes that just make me feel a little bit like I'm time traveling, like I'm a little bit out of time. And then last but not least, I have this hat, which it's not just the hat, but this hat in particular, like the newsy type hat, just makes me feel like I'm in, you know, well, Newsies. I am a musical theater actor, so that makes sense. But this hat I really love to pair with trousers. So I have these just like normal, I mean, these are like very modern slacks. I really like them with the hat and this cardigan with the buttons. I don't know, there's something about the whole outfit together that just makes me feel, it's very like dark academia. So yeah, that is my history-bounding cottagecore wardrobe. I am really proud of like all of the things that I've managed to gather over the last few years, because again, I didn't really get into this until a few months ago. I feel like there's a lot you can do with just a long skirt and, you know, a sweater or the right blouse or whatever. Like, I feel like there's sometimes some like gatekeeping in this community, or like there's kind of a barrier to enter because you feel like you have to wear like natural fibers. You have to have like historically accurate clothing, make your own things. Like I'm a college student and I don't have a lot of money to be spending on that kind of thing. Even though I would really, really like to be able to buy like a really nice wool and make myself a walking suit. That would be, I do want to do that, and I think I may do it just with cheaper fabric that's not natural fibers and that's not historically accurate, just because ultimately, I think it comes down to just wearing what makes you happy. I mean, how many times did I say that in this video, that it makes me happy. And I really, really like clothes that make me feel like I'm a little bit of a time traveler. I feel like there's a lot you can do with just a few items from your closet. I mean, the long skirt changes everything. This hat changes everything. Like, there is just, I like to be creative with it and see what I can do with the things that I already have. I guess that's it for this video. I never know how to end these things.